G'day everybody, it's Kim here from Kim's Homestead. How are we all today? All doing well, I hope. Well, I've been down to my favourite lolly store, haven't I? And yes, I bought a few plants. One is a midnight snack. It's just a little cherry tomato, red and black. I'll see if I can get a photo of it for you. So, even though I've got a few cherry tomatoes planted, I thought, well, if my Brad's Atomic don't turn out to be atomic again, then at least I'll have the red and black of this one. I also got a petunia, a double mix. It was the only one there, so I grabbed it. Some sweet basil. I hope to make some sweet basil pesto and put it away in the freezer this year, so I wanted a good amount of sweet basil. Plus I want some for my daughter-in-law as well, who's going to be putting in her garden a little bit later on. She'll be wanting that as well. And also some capsicums, some California Wonders. Now I won't need all the capsicums in this little tray. So whatever I don't want, I'm going to pot up for my daughter-in-law as well. What they did have was some really good specials on their bulbs. Now I got rhubarb was one. They were all going out at clearance for $1 each. $1. So I bought $10 worth. So rhubarb, because I'm not sure whether the rhubarb that I put over in the potato bed actually took or not. The frost might have gotten it, I don't know. Now, I also got two prom dance. This one is a hybrid. It's like a daffodil jonquil hybrid. Anemone. Now I've got two of these ones. They were really pretty white ones. Pipit. This one is a miniature daffodil. But I'll get that one later. Barbena blend. Yes, they always put the big dollar mark right in front of the photo. Never mind. This one is, it's an anemone. It's either Decian or Decian blue bicolour. Thalia, it's a miniature daffodil. autumn something, autumn lakes I think it is. And Petitius recurvius, another daffodil. So they'll be nice. I'll probably put them all out the front. I think I've got quite a few spots out the front that need filling, especially in that big round part. Out the front where the big eagle is. So, there's all of those. Now, I also picked up a big roll of tubing. This is your 13mm tubing. This is for making the archways for my shade cloth in my veggie beds this year, because I'm just having too much trouble with sparrows, and I don't mind sharing, but these greedy little sods are just taking everything. So time to exclude them. And on that note, I picked up some shade cloth. This is the garden cover kit, also picked up from Bunnings. It's 1.5 by 3 metres, which should be able to cover my capsicums this year so that they don't get sun scald. I was going to exclude them anyway, but this can go on top of the exclusion cloth, because what I have, it's just a white bug netting, which would shade it somewhat, but not as much as what I wanted. So with our heat levels, we get, 45 degrees plus here. And excuse me. And with the tree being cut out this year, it's going to be as hot as Hades in this vegetable garden in the afternoons come summertime. So I am going to have to provide a little bit of shade for my peppers. They will love the heat, but they will need some shade, otherwise the fruit will scald. And on that note, I also picked up a great big bag of dolomite lime. This is to replace some of the calcium in the soil. It's not only a fertiliser, but it is for calcium replacement as well, because not only tomatoes get bottom end rot, but capsicums can get it as well. So it's a good thing just before you're ready to plant up your seedlings. Give the soil a bit of treatment with dolomite lime, and you should be good to go. It replaces the calcium in the soil, and therefore making it accessible to the fruit. And so long as they don't have a problem, another problem of taking up the calcium in the soil, then there should be no blossom end rot. I did have a little bit last year, and that's why I need to replace it. Now, if you can't get dolomite lime, gypsum would also work. Gypsum is very good for if you've got clay soils. It helps to break up the clay soil, and also it will help to add a little bit of calcium to your soil as well. But most of my beds are made from horse manure and potting mix. Except for the potato bed, I don't have a lot of, they're not right on the ground, so therefore the clay doesn't matter. That's why I went with the lime dolomite. And yeah, if I was planting straight into the soil here, because it's very, very hard in clay, then I would add a heap of gypsum first. So that was my little excursion to Bunnings this morning. Now, as you know, I've been having a big problem with sparrows and my peas. They've absolutely stripped the plant. It is trying to reflower, and I may get a few more pea pods out of it, but is it worth it? I may just pull out what I've got there and call it quits on the peas and put something else in there instead. I think that's what I'll do. So, looks like the peas are going into the compost bin. Let's get it done. These plants are going into the seed house for now until I'm ready to plant them out. We're still getting like really, really cold nights. Possibility of frosts, and they're a little too young and tender yet to put out, so I think we'll keep them in the seed house for another week or two. Even if I've got to repot some of them up, I'd rather that than have them die from the frost. So, into the seed house they go. We'll get started on those peas, and then I've got some work to do on the chook pen, because the sparrows are getting into the chook pen as well. They're sneaking between the crack in the door and eating all the chook food and pooping in the water, giving the chooks worms, which is not what I want. So, bit of work to do this afternoon. Well, here's me poor old pea plant. As you see, it's trying to bloom again, but I think it's time for it to come out. and I'll put something else then in there. Yeah, I'll probably get another sort of crop off it if I can keep the blasted sparrows out. But look, where are we? They're just picking off the tops of everything. They're even eating what peas are there. So it can go make way for something else. It's starting to get all that white die off mould anyway, so time to put some beans in, I suppose. Have fresh beans instead. bed's all cleaned out. Now that will give time for my carrots that I planted time to grow on. Now I've got another self-seeding tomato there, so that will give me 6 tomatoes. So I think I'll pot that one up while I'm here and pop it into the seed house, and 6 tomatoes. I know they're all the large variety. I don't know what kind, but I'm going to use them as slicing tomatoes. So that's what they'll be. I've got another one there actually, 7, so that'll give me a spare. That'll be good. Well, I'll pop them up, get them in the seed house, and we'll get over to the chook pen. Hang on. Looks like I have a potato coming up there. Now where that came from, I don't know, but it can stay there. Self-seeded potato. Interesting. I'm just planting out my onions, and the worms here are so prolific and active. Honestly, they're just popping up out of the ground at me. Where are we? Oh, there's another one. There was another couple there somewhere. There's another one's just popped out. These are all huge big worms. I'll have to collect some to go fishing with, I think. They're so prolific in here. About a dozen or so won't be missed. And then if I don't use them all, they'll go back in the bed for later on. Fatten up. Well, there's another one that's just popped out. Gone for a little stroll. And there's his mate over there. girls. You get to work on that. Just look at that beautiful compost-rich soil. That's all going to go on my gardens. Alright, I better get to the girls to work on this stuff. Watch big fat finger. There you are, girls. You get to work on that. Come on, Samani. That's a good girl. Can't even see him in there now. Trust me, they're having a wonderful time. Only 3 eggs today. That'll do. Thank you, girls. My first ever Brussels sprouts. I have grown them before, but never ever to this quality. Very proud of them. And here's our little harvest for today. I've got some more Brussels sprouts for tea, 4 little googlies, some nice lettuce to go with my egg and lettuce sandwiches tomorrow, and I've got a fresh loaf baking at the moment, ready for granny daycare tomorrow. That's probably my first and only harvest of snow peas that I will get because of the rotten sparrows, and some parsley ready to go over to tonight's tea. That's not bad at the end of winter. I think we've still got about a week and a half of winter to go, so I'm happy with that. Right, what I have for this door is some gutter guard. And what I'm going to do is just zip tie it onto the door here. I think I'll put it maybe on the inside. We'll see. Yeah, that'll stop the little buggers. Okay, so we have clean water, we have a feeder chock-a-block full of food. Hopefully we've done away with the little sparrows that constantly get in there and pinch all their food and shit in their water. We have fresh compost making happening. Now let's see if we have any googlies. Okay. Ooh. Looks like we've got 5 little googlies today. Hello, one pocket omelette coming up. Thank you, girls. That will go nicely for my breakfast tomorrow. What? Yes, I pinched your eggs. Hey, you coming up to say hello? Or to see what I'm doing? You think I've got something else for you? Hey? I think you've got enough. Yes, I do. I think you have more than enough, Miss Nutmeg. Here we go, girls. Here's some more treats. Hey? Well, there's no sparrows in here. That's good. Hey? There we go. Have some scones. Yummy lettuce. The flowers look absolutely beautiful, but look what the sparrows are doing to the green leaves. They just get in this tree and the little darlings just poop everywhere. I've got some gorgeous persimmons over near the chook pen. Aren't they just beautiful? Yay! It looks like I've kept at least one of those rhubarb, so that new one I just bought will replace the one that I've lost. That's good. And I should hopefully get a nice little crop of blueberries this year. There's actually a reasonable amount of blossom on it this year. So that'll be nice. Here's the first of my Calabrese broccoli coming up. So, to me, it looks like purple sprouting broccoli, but it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be Calabrese. We shall see. My other broccoli has gone to flower. I can still harvest from it. There's still green shoots coming up everywhere, which I can harvest from, but I've decided to leave it to the bees. They are just loving it. So I'll leave it to the bees and let them enjoy it. For now, anyway. And my little miniature peaches have already shot. No blossom this year, so I doubt whether I will get any peaches off it this year. I don't know what happened to the blossom, whether the frost took it or what, but not one blossom head this year. And my Brussels sprouts, I am so proud of them. Look at Brussels sprouts. So good. Well, I just picked a whole mess of worms. A whole heap of worms in there. I want to go fishing over the next few days, so tuck them all in there. They've got nice wet medium, they've got horse poo, they've got a green leaf, so they should be fine in there. And so I was doing that instead of doing the rest of my chores. Yeah, don't look at the hair. So this is where I'm going to finish up today's video, and I think there's a reasonable amount there, and otherwise it'll just drag out for way too long. So I hope you enjoyed pottering around in the garden with me, planting a few things and cleaning up areas and playing with the chookies. Anyway, so that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big wormy thumbs up, and if you like my videos, think about subscribing. That would be wonderful. Alright, I'll catch you again soon with a garden update. Bye. Oh yeah, get your head right in there, mate. Yep. You're such a silly cat.